As an avid yoga practitioner in Los Angeles, Kayoko founded Yoga Gives Back in 2007 to express her gratitude for the gift of yoga. Inspired by the microfinancing revolution, she realized for the cost of one class, you can change a life. In its 18th year, Yoga Gives Back empowers over 3,000 mothers and children in India per year with microloans and education funds supported by yoga communities in 30 countries around the world. Prior to moving to the US in 1992, Kayoko was a producer and director for NHK, which is Japan's national public broadcaster. She worked on documentary television programs and was a cultural attache at the Embassy of Japan in London. Her passion for filmmaking is rooted in her perspective that she gained from living abroad. She's lived in Australia, Brazil, United Kingdom, and the US. She's been filming Yoga Gives Backs, funding recipients in India to share the real life stories of underserved women and children, or underserved, sorry, women and children, as well as the growing impact of Yoga Gives Back's global support. You have the floor.
Good morning. Thank you so much, everyone. Thanks, Karen and Michelle, for having me. I met you guys a couple months ago and time flew and it's already October. And I'm very inspired with your organization, especially Rotary Clubs, your Rotary Clubs focus on human trafficking. I attended the last meeting in May and learned a lot about how you invite people to talk about this topic from different angles. And just to add my background, I was actually a Rotary Club exchange student in 1978 to 79, and I went to Australia from Japan, and which really was a life-changing opportunity for me. So I really owe to Rotary Club. So I'm very happy to be with you today and see how much work you're doing in terms of human trafficking focus. And before I go into too much, I will just share my presentation because that's the best way for you to know about our organization. And you know what's the link with human trafficking here. So do you see my first page? Okay. So if you have questions, just raise hands. It will take about 15 minutes or so. And I think I have time for Q&A also. But interrupt me if you have any questions. So this picture is actually taken in West Bengal, where the human trafficking is the highest in India. We worked there we've been working since 2010. So we'll talk about this later, but these hundreds of women gather for us. They are microloan fund recipients, and very inspiring meeting. But this presentation gives you a background of what we have done in 18 years and where we are going. So I don't know how many of you really actually practice yoga, meditation, or physical, but yoga is a gift from ancient India, and astonishing 300 million people enjoy yoga today in terms of physical or spiritual practices, and the industry is worth over $200 billion in end of this year. And I started this organization from my yoga school in Los Angeles. I'm just a student, but I was feeling so much benefit physically and spiritually. And I felt really in a calling of giving back, especially because I was also producing a documentary about social entrepreneurship and also learned about microfinancing. This was the year after Dr. Mohammed Yunus from Bangladesh just received Nobel Peace Prize for his microfinancing revolution. So I've learned that for the cost of one class, which was about $15 that time, you can really give a huge loan for, in underserved, impoverished, especially women in developing countries. So we created this mantra: for the cost of one class, you can change your life. And in 18 years, we've reached over 30 countries, and we have about 150 to 200 ambassadors who are the leading yoga teachers around the world who do take our mission to their communities and do fundraising. We just finished Japan retreat and just came back from Japan. So it's growing, and we are now supporting over 3,000 underserved women and children with our microloan program and scholarships. And we make a trip to India almost every year, and we visit all the programs with our ambassadors and advisors. Our first stop is always Dinabandhu Trust, which is an orphanage started by Professor Jayadev, where we support 38 children, but these children have absolutely no place to go if they want for this home. And here also in this area, we give 140 boys and girls with 5-year scholarship for higher education. We are funded by Group Cooper Foundation this year, so we are very grateful for this grant. These also young people have no chance to go continue their high school or college education if they want for this scholarship. And it's very important for us to visit their homes because that's where we learn the reality. So for example, this boy, Prasanth, on the left top, he's now engineering major, and we visited his home and learned his father is a blacksmith, and they're just barely making, his income just barely make 3 meals a day for the family. But this father shared with us that receiving is a responsibility, which was a very inspiring word to hear. He wants to make sure that his son with scholarship will continue to be able to study until he graduates from college as engineer. And on the right side is Mamata with her beautiful mom who have no education. Now she's becoming a nurse with a scholarship, and they were very happy to share their prospects with this scholarship. So it's a pretty moving trip to India. And our second stop is Calcutta, West Bengal, where I mentioned that highest number of human trafficking cases happen every year. So you probably, all of you know what's the reality there. But India has very serious cases, but West Bengal suffers a lot. Here we work with an NGO called Nishta, which was founded by this beautiful grandmother Prita Das in 1975. She got married very young and realized there were so many young brides in the village who have absolutely no idea about family life or how to raise children. They just become kind of domestic servants after they got married. So she created this organization to really focus on empowering young girls and women, and to learn their human, rights, equal rights. And today they assist more than 40,000 girls and women in 225 villages, and actually engaging men too. And today, this organization run by her daughter, Meena Das, and granddaughter, Manami Das, who are my counterparts. So here we started microloan program with 50 women in 2010. This year we are funding more than 550 women. And over the years, I've learned that this is not just a financial independence program, but more importantly, it is a peer support group empowerment system that we created. You can see how strong and happy the women look. Every year I notice their faces change and look stronger because they now have women peer friends, and they come out to do sewing or candle making or whatever microloan business they decide to do. And they started talking about domestic violence or home, domestic issues. And if there's any domestic violence these days at home, this group of women will go to the husbands and threaten them to take them to the police. And they've really prevented many cases of domestic violence and human trafficking and child marriage. So we're very happy with this movement. And we also give 300 young girls in this villages with 5-year scholarship for higher education. So hundreds of girls come to meet with us to tell us how much this scholarship means to them, because otherwise they would have been forced to marry. And again, we have been doing this more than 10 years now, so we see a lot of hundreds of girls graduated and got the job, helping their families and community. And I want to show you one video which was actually created by the girls of this scholarship, performed and created by the scholarship about human trafficking case. Let's see.
এর আগে মৃত্যু দিয়েছি জন্মের পরে ভয় সকালে বিকালে শরীরে আগলে ঢুকিয়ে বাঁচতে হয় যদি ভুল চুপ হয় কোনোভাবে অসাবধানের বসে 2 বছরেই বর্ষিটা তুই তোরে কিন্তু দোষে চিৎকার করবে কতদূর বলা যায় আমাদের শুধু কাছে কাছে নীরব থাকার দায় আমাদের শুধু ভোগা ভাঙা পথে এগিয়ে চলার দায় চিৎকার করবে কতদূর বলা যায় আমাদের শুধু ভোগা ভাঙা পথে এগিয়ে চলার
Again, this
দায়
was made by the girls we support, and you can see the power of the group. They really help each other with these kind of situations. We talk about this, but the cases of human trafficking really increased during COVID, and these groups really prevented quite a few cases to happen by being very vigilant and acting fast, talking to the police and so on. And finally, I want to share that this year, what's very encouraging that we found in the villages is that now fathers are engaged because they've realized how the girls, when they get education, are very empowered and happy. So these 40 fathers meet monthly to talk about the change and the importance of girls' education. So on the right side, this father in black jacket stood up and courageously shared his story of 2 daughters. He had to force marry the first daughter because they have no income and not much money, and they had to force her, and she really actually very sad and miserable right now with her married life. Her second daughter is very happy because she got the scholarship and now she is studying to become a nurse. So and also once they get the jobs, they've seen now a lot of girls make good money and help their community. And the best thing is they also give back to the community by many ways they can do. So this is a very good cultural transformation that we are seeing here. And this is quickly how the snapshot of how we grew over the years. This is our 18th year. So I started counting how many people we were actually helping in 2011. That was only 50 mothers and 5 young girls. And over the years, we started starting with microloans and young girls' education. We actually added Pink Color, which is a scholarship for higher education that I talked about. And over the years, it started growing. And then in 2024, last year, we reached 3,000. And this year, we are hoping we get to 4,000 lives. And next year, hopefully, $5,000 lives. And so this is what we've been doing. So thank you so much for your support and interest in watching and learning about our work.